Okay, so today we're diving deep into something a little different.
Yeah.
We're going to be focusing on you, our listeners.
All right.
And we ask you to send in some stuff.
Right.
And, you sent us in this text, Safara,
Mm-hmm.
and it is fascinating.
Yeah, this is some great stuff.
So we thought we'd do a whole deep dive on this text.
That's right. We could talk all day about this, but I think one of
it stood out too.
the things that stood out to me were this idea of these humbling experiences that all new traders face.
Yeah.
It's it's one thing to say that trading is hard, right?
Right.
But these excerpts
Yeah.
actually go into detail and
Yeah.
talk about specific
scenarios, right?
Yeah, like specific situations where traders
Almost like predictable traps.
Yeah, kind of like pitfalls
Yeah, that's a good word.
that new traders fall into.
So give me an example of one of these, like, what do you mean pitfalls? What are we talking about here?
Sure. So there's this one story about a trader who spends weeks back testing a strategy,
Right.
and he feels really confident about it.
Okay, so he's done his due diligence. He thinks he's figured it out.
Exactly. And then he goes all in
Oh, boy.
with a live trade,
Nope.
and then bam, totally wiped out by like a random news event
Oh, man.
he hadn't even considered.
Oh, yeah, I can relate to that
Yeah.
because you think you've got it all figured out, and then
right.
the world throws your curveball.
Exactly.
But, like, how could you plan for something like that?
You can't, and that's the point, right? Like
Yeah.
that's where this humbling part comes in.
It's like, it's not enough to just have a good strategy.
Right.
You have to understand, like, all of the things.
It's bigger than you.
Yeah.
You got to understand the context, the bigger picture.
That's so hard, though.
It is.
It really is.
But you know what?
Right.
These excerpts actually go on to talk about the importance of things like risk management and position sizing.
Oh, what does that mean?
Well, a lot of times new traders, they get so focused on finding like the perfect entry.
The perfect trade.
Yeah, they're trying to time the market perfectly.
Line the market, yeah.
That they forget about these really crucial elements.
Okay.
Like how much are they actually risking on each trade?
So you're saying it's about, like, protecting yourself
Exactly.
in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, because something's always going to go wrong.
Always, it feels like.
And it's so easy to just focus on, I got to find the perfect entry. I got to find the perfect strategy.
And perfect
A
stop.
perfect stock, yeah.
Yeah.
But what about when it doesn't go your way?
Yeah, that's like, what do you do then?
Yeah. And I think what these excerpts are saying is
Yeah.
you're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's really those mistakes that teach you the most valuable lessons.
You're saying that, like, you got to
learn from your failures.
you got to fail to
Yeah.
succeed, right?
Exactly.
That's like
Hard, I know.
hard pill to swallow, right?
It is, but you know what? It's also what makes trading so fascinating.
Okay, I'm listening.
You're constantly learning. You're constantly adapting.
It's like constantly evolving.
Yeah, and it's not just about the money.
Right.
It's about, like, becoming more resilient,
Yeah.
more aware of, like, your limitations.
Yeah, and, like, you have to be, I mean, I guess,
Yes.
isn't some level of confidence necessary?
That's a great point.
I mean, like, you got to believe in yourself to even make a trade.
Absolutely. It's about balance.
Okay.
You need confidence to act,
Yeah.
but you also need the humility
Right.
to accept that you don't know everything.
And to learn.
Yeah, and to be prepared to learn.
Right.
And to be prepared to make mistakes.
You're going to make them.
Yeah, they're inevitable.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
You can't predict everything.
No, can't predict everything.
So what I'm hearing you say is
Yeah.
it's not about avoiding mistakes.
No.
It's about, like, almost welcoming them.
Yeah, it's about reframing them. It's about seeing them as opportunities for growth.
So how do you do that?
Well, the text uses this phrase that I really love.
Oh, okay.
It talks about paying tuition to the market.
Whoa. Okay.
Every mistake you make,
Yeah.
every loss you take, it's a lesson you've paid for.
Oh, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, and that knowledge, it compounds over time.
I like that. That's a really good way of looking at it.
And it's what separates the people who stay in the game
Right.
from the people who just give up.
So when things go wrong, don't just quit.
Don't give up. Learn from it.
Learn from it. Yeah.
Figure out what you did wrong.
Pay your tuition.
Pay your tuition to the market.
Man, I'm going to be thinking about that all day.
I know, right?
So to wrap things up,
Yeah.
if you're new to trading,
Mm-hmm.
or even if you've been at it a while,
Doesn't matter how long.
just remember, everyone gets humbled along the way.
We've all been there.
It's part of the process.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable.
It's part of the game.
So the next time
Yeah.
you have one of those moments.
Those tough moments.
Don't get discouraged.
No, don't despair.
Instead, ask yourself,
Yeah.
what's the lesson here?
What did I do wrong?
What can I learn?
How can I be better?
Exactly.
Turn those humbling moments into fuel.
And to fuel for your journey.
That's how you grow.
That's how you become a better trader.
That's it.
And that's it for today's deep dive.
See you next time.
We'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everybody.